Hey everybody, welcome back to the underground lair, and we have ourselves a PartsCaster. We have Fender noiseless pickups. I imagine this is probably a loaded pickguard, but I'm not going to open it up because it works the way it is. He bought a used Fender Mexican made neck, but it does not have Fender tuners on it. I'm gonna say they're probably like GFS. They're not, there's no screws holding them in the back there, and one is at a really weird angle. See if that picks it up in the camera. It would be the A string. Yeah, you can see it there. We have a new nut. We have a Tusq Nut to go in its place. String height is nuts. There's a shim in somewhere in here. It looks like it's in the front part of the neck pocket, which is making the neck lift out like this. So that gives us a string height of a Reuben sandwich, 9/64 and 10/64. But the saddles are lifted all the way up. These are not Fender saddles, they're probably GFS saddles. It's decked, and so we're going to go ahead and we're just going to take the strings off here. We're going to put 10s on it, and these tuners, I mean, the A tuner, which is, like I said, out of alignment, which could be the reason it's hard to turn. We're just going to go ahead and take the strings off and start from 0, I think. Okay, so we have another problem here. The claw was screwed in at the wrong angle. The top of the claw is level with the body, and that would mean that if you were to back this out, I mean, these strings are stretched. So we're going to back that out, and we're going to put in dowels and let that dry, and we'll re-drill the holes down further into the body and redo it. Get our big screwdriver and pull out these screws from the neck and remove that shim and just set this whole body aside. Okay, there's our neck plates. Oh my goodness. It's a fairly tight fitting, but there's our shim, and that's not where it goes, and you don't use cardboard because it will compress. Alrighty then, so there should be a 10 mil socket here. It is. And yeah, they're loose as all get out. Oh, wow, that one was like not even in there. I thought it was broken for a second. No wonder it was turning all that well. Okay, so we're going to remove this nut and put in a Tusq. It's a 5000-00, I hope. So you want to take your exact 0 knife and just cut it along here, because they tend to get the lacquer on the nut. You want to take as much of that adhesion, yeah, you can like feel it right there. Get yourself in the light so you can see what you're doing, right? Okay. And then we go this way. Then we go this way. Yeah, you can see that they got lacquer on that, or whatever they finish it with. Go that way. And this nut really was not fit in here properly at the factory. It's way too high. That's why the Mexican strats are cheaper. I'm going to take our little hammer here, and this is from my old crowning file. It's a before they came out with the diamond encrusted ones. It's just the right width to whack this thing out of here. And I think I'm going to use a clamp to hold my neck. That way I don't have to do two things at once. It's nice that it's kind of a pointed thing too. Come on, don't use super glue. Okay, that's not working. Let's try another method here. Take a rag, protect the wood, take a straight edge. So do I want to use this? Yeah, this will work. We're going to just tap it, not too hard, and we're going to tap the other end, going the other direction, not too hard. Okay, because maybe, just maybe, there we go. You just want to take your time with these things. There, it's out. Okay. And yeah, see, they use super glue, these goofballs. Alright, so that is a radius bottom, and this has got a nub at the bottom of it. You can see that's for if you have a square and it's a flat bottom. So we're going to go ahead and put this in the vise and use our Sears and Roebuck file to get rid of that nub, and I'll be back. Okay, so we're going to match up the bottom of this to this one, and we'll see that it is very similar. But we're going to have to sand it down to match the radius a little bit. And also the Tusq Nut is a bit wider, so we're going to have to contour it down to the shape of the neck. They give you a little bit of room to work with so that you get it to work, and it's also wider than the slot. So we have a piece of sandpaper over here that we're going to work very little bit So the next step is we want to make sure the radius of the nut matches the radius of the slot. And the radius of the slot is the same as the radius of the neck. So you just put a piece of 220 sandpaper on here and you see that it's only sawing down the outsides. So we've got to get it radiused to the right radius. Right? Right. Ooh, that feels nice. I'm going to roll with that. Yep, that's where it's going. Okay, so we're going to take our tight bond and we're going to put a spot right there. And we're going to put a spot right there. And that's all it needs. Throw away the rest. And I just use said toothpick to spread it a little bit more so I don't get a bunch of squeeze out. Okay, that's all we need. Put it in, line it up. There we go. That part's done.